This is Abby Watkins, and I'm going to be curating Salvador Dali's The Persistence of a Memory, which is located at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. Here is what the artwork looks like inside the museum. And then here is the Persistence of a Memory by Salvador Dali up close. Okay, so before diving into the actual artwork, I'm going to start with some background information on the artist Salvador Dali. Dali was born in Spain, 1904, and he's known as the father of the Surrealist art movement. So Salvador Dali studied art in Madrid for a while, and while he was there, he picked up most of his painting techniques and also learned the work of famous psychologist Freud. Salvador Dali was fascinated by Freud's teachings, specifically regarding the subconscious mind and dreams. One of Freud's main ideas was that it was the power of the individual, or like the purpose of the individual, to make the unconscious conscious, and this is reflected in the work of Salvador Dali's art, where he's trying to go into somewhat of a trance while he paints and have the artwork that's created be from his unconscious mind. And with that, Dali was known to be kind of the starter of the Surrealist art movement. The Surrealist movement wasn't just in art, but was also in literature and philosophy. And what the word surrealism actually means is beyond reality. And that's exactly what the art and the literature of the time and the movement was trying to do. They were trying to sort of revolutionize what it means to be human and create these works of art that challenge sort of like the imposed norms of the time and instead create these beautiful works of art that sort of unlock the images of one's unconscious mind. So most of the art is very like dream-like and has hidden psychological meanings, very mystic, and sometimes has connections to ancient cultures and indigenous art. So the most famous artwork of the Surrealist movement is undoubtedly Salvador Dali's The Persistence of a Memory. So this is an oil painting done by Dali in the 1930s. It depicts a very dreamlike alternate universe with lots of symbolism within the image. There's 3 watches which represent the past, the present, and the future, and how they all coexist together kind of synergetically. If you were to look in the bottom left corner, there's an orange watch covered with ants. This sort of represents the passing of time, and the ants that cover it represent the concept of decomposition and death. And then underneath the clock in the middle, there's this oddly shaped creature, which is interpreted to be a representation of Dali actually sleeping, and then everything else outside of the figure is sort of like the dream. And then another symbolic idea is represented with the ocean in the back. That's thought of to be reality and memories, and it's kind of like crashing up against the shore and the island, which is more of the hazy dreamlike universe. Overall, the painting gives off sort of a feeling of emptiness, with the empty shoreline and lack of anything in the surroundings. Okay, so moving on, it's important to note that during the time that this was made, Einstein was publishing his theories of relativity, and like I mentioned earlier, Freud's work was very popular, so both of which inspired Dali to create this artwork that tackles the concept of dreams and time. Okay, so lastly, 20 years after Dali created the persistence of a memory, he painted this, which is the disintegration of a memory. And I just thought I would show it to you because it's quite interesting with it's the exact same painting, but he just kind of breaks it up into blocks. It's quite interesting. So there's that, and yeah, that's The Persistence of a Memory by Salvador Dali.